Hi guys, welcome to You Are Unlocked, a place for all your holistic health and wellness needs to help you unlock a happier life. My name's Yuna and I'm so glad you're here. A couple of weeks ago, I released a video about how to heal from romantic heartbreak, and this video will be the practical walkthrough video where we'll go through the 3-step method of owning your domain, pulling the plug, and rewriting your story. I'll also give you some examples on screen so that if you're struggling to figure out how you're feeling or why you're feeling certain ways, you will have something to anchor onto as an example. And this is really important because the majority of us have or will experience heartbreak or romantic rejection at some point in our lives. So we want to know how to heal the pain to make sure that it doesn't keep producing things that are going to make it difficult for us to connect with people in the future. It's not just the short-term emotions that are really difficult to deal with. You know, the pain in your stomach, you can't think clearly, and you just feel really upset about what's happened. But long term, if we don't heal from the pain of romantic rejection or heartbreak, things like loss of appetite, low self-esteem, increased insecurity, low confidence, being unable to connect with people on a deep level going forward start to happen. So it actually starts to affect a wide range of things in your life. And this shows up in how you are at work, or how you are in your friendships, or how you are with different people in your life. So healing things like romantic heartbreak is really important for your overall health, wellness, and your relationships outside of those that are romantic. You can definitely get things like your self-esteem, self-love, confidence, and security back, not just to what you had before the heartbreak, but even more than you had before. And that's what you're going to achieve with this 3-step method. So let's resolve it together. I'll talk you through this method, and there'll be a few things on screen that you can look at any moment. But there is also a practical step-by-step guide. So if you would like that, you can go ahead and click the link in my bio. Otherwise, you can just follow along on screen, or you can get a piece of paper, a pen, or your phone to jot any notes down. Feel free to pause this video at any moment and take some time to think and feel and digest what's happening. I may be speaking a little bit faster than what you may want to go through this in, or maybe you want to start this video and then come back to it later when you have more time to process the emotions. That's totally fine. We're going to start with step 1, which is taking ownership of your domain. Firstly, we're going to remember the memory of what happened. So think back to that day. What time of the day was it? Was it the morning, the afternoon, or the evening? Did you know that something was wrong, or had things seemed off for quite some time, or did it take you by surprise? What were things that were going through your head before that moment? Did the other person maybe call you or text you saying that we need to talk? Think back to what happened, what you were doing, what your emotions were before that actual moment where the heartbreak or the rejection happened. I know this can seem quite painful, but we need to access the emotions in order to resolve them. If we want to make ourselves feel better, we need to find out what is feeling bad or what doesn't feel quite right. And the best way to access those emotions is by recalling that memory. So take some time to think about how you felt before it happened and then whilst it happened. And then when you've identified how you felt whilst it happened, try to narrow it down to a few feelings, maybe 3 or 4. And now we're going to do a short journaling exercise where we write an I feel statement and then because statement related to what happened. So here is an example that you could use, maybe you felt, and we're going to work through it together. You may write down, I feel unwanted because they told me no. So in that moment where the heartbreak or the rejection happened, did you feel unwanted, and was the reason that you felt unwanted because they told you no? If so, write that down. Or, I feel unsupported because they belittled or ignored what I was passionate about. Did you maybe tell your significant other or someone that you were interested in something about you that you felt was a moment of vulnerability as you shared your heart about something that you've really enjoyed, or maybe a direction that you wanted to go in your life? And did they belittle you? Did they shame you about it? Did they tell you that it isn't something that you should pursue? And was there some sort of heartbreak that arose from that moment? If so, you can write an I feel statement about that down. The third example is, I feel unworthy because their actions don't reflect desire for me. Did you maybe feel unworthiness, that really hard feeling to bear because you shared a part of yourself with someone and they didn't react in a way where they were passionate about it, or they desired you, or they wanted to help you fulfill what you shared with them? If so, some heartbreak may have occurred in that moment, and you can write that down in your I feel statements. Now, as mentioned before in the video 2 weeks back, we're going to take back control of our own feelings, because as long as we have those because statements, so I feel XYZ because of this reason, the power over our feelings and our mindsets and how we feel about ourselves belongs to the other person and is dependent on them. But in order to take back control of our own feelings so that we can change them, heal them, and turn them around into things that are going to make us happier, we need to take back the control. And the way that we're going to do that now is cross out the because statements. So on each of your feeling statements, every time you've written because XYZ, whatever it is afterwards, cross out that because statement. And what you will be left with is just I feel and then an emotion. So in the examples, it would be I feel unwanted, full stop. I feel unsupported, full stop. I feel unworthy, full stop. These statements aren't dependent on someone else. We're just recognizing that this is how I feel. Now on to step 2, having the courage to pull the plug on the pain. This is when we walk through removing the pain from our emotions and from our hearts. This part is going to be a visualization exercise. So you can close your eyes and picture this in your mind as I speak. It'll be a simple picturing exercise, so don't worry. As you close your eyes, if you're comfortable to do so, imagine your heart as a container. And at the very bottom of this container, there is a drainage plug. Now imagine your heart is full of black, dirty, icky water. This water represents the I feel statements that we wrote down during the first step. So as an example, I'm going to take the I feel unwanted statement. I feel unwanted is the black, icky, dirty water that's currently in your heart. And what we're going to do and picture in our minds is that in our hearts as a container, picture your hand going down into your heart from the top, and your hand is trying to get to the very bottom where the drainage plug is so that it can pull the plug out. So imagine your heart and your hand going in from the top of it down towards the bottom slowly. And as you do, you can start to feel what that water feels like. That water of I feel unwanted. Are there emotions starting to rise up in you of feeling unwanted? Can you feel the pain, not just in the moment of what happened during the heartbreak, of that memory that we started with at the start of this video, but can you feel the pain of other times in your life where you felt unwanted as your hand goes deeper and deeper into your heart? Maybe you feel the pain of being unwanted by your parents, abandoned, rejected, or neglected. Or possibly you're feeling the pain of being unwanted in your friendship groups when you were in school. Maybe you were rejected by friends, you didn't have any friends, or you needed to hang out by yourself most of the time because there was nobody who wanted to really be around you. And that caused such a sharp pain. Or maybe your needs were neglected as a child and you weren't given what you needed to be happy and healthy growing up. Possibly you needed to grow up too fast and act like an adult when you were just a child. Are you feeling that deeper pain from the past of being unwanted as you go down deeper into your heart to pull out that plug? It's okay to feel those emotions and to let those emotions rise, or maybe cry them out if you need to. That stored pain within you is asking for an outlet so that it can be healed. So take the time. As you get to the very bottom where the drainage plug is, the statement and the thoughts that may be rising up may sound like, I feel unwanted, which makes me question whether I want to be around myself too. Which makes me question whether I love myself. This is the plug point. If you hear, I don't know if I love myself, or I don't love myself, as you've reached the bottom of your heart with that icky, dirty water, then you've reached the plug. And have the courage to pull it out. Even if it's painful, realize that this is just a belief, so we can let it go and let that pain drain out. Release those emotions because it's just a belief and we can change that now. As we continue the visualization, just picture that icky, dirty water of I feel unwanted, or whatever your statement was, draining out of your heart. See it draining further and further as you've pulled the plug until it's completely out and you no longer store that within you. Awesome, you're doing a great job. Now we're going on to step 3, which is rewriting your story. This is another visualization step which will help us change our subconscious beliefs. Now that our heart is empty from all of that icky, dirty water, imagine that there is a huge container of a warm, red, gooey liquid. and there is tons and tons and tons of it. Put the plug back into the bottom of your heart. And then imagine this warm red liquid pouring into your heart from the top. As this liquid starts to fill your heart slowly and smoothly, you realize that it feels like real love. And the way that you would describe this warm, red, gooey liquid filling your heart would be, I love myself. I choose myself. I want to be around myself because I love myself wholly and deeply. Let that feeling fill up your heart more and more as your story shifts from one of self-dislike and self-hate to one of self-love. As you do and your heart is becoming more full, start to realize the thoughts that are popping into your head. Thoughts of more positive self-talk, self-love and confidence. Maybe thoughts of things that you want to pursue are coming into your mind now as you heal up. A hobby that you want to start or a business that you want to create. Recognize that and tell yourself that you're committed to pursuing that and creating a happier, healthier life for yourself because you love yourself. And that's it for today, guys. You can go back and do this again with one of the I feel statements, or if you feel painful emotions rising up again in the future, just go through the method again. Healing happens in layers. You are getting closer to a place of being more whole. It's a pleasure to have shared this small portion of your journey with you.